You've been sold a dream that is actually a trap. You've heard the gurus scream about making money while you sleep, making it sound like passive income is a magic button you press to retire on a beach. But here is the cold, hard truth that nobody wants to tell you. Passive income is a lie if you haven't mastered the brutal art of active income first. Most people are so obsessed with freedom that they end up broke because they're trying to build the roof of a house that has no foundation. Are you chasing a lifestyle, or are you actually building a financial engine? Today, we're stripping away the fairy tales to see which one actually works. Welcome to the space where we stop playing business and start engineering profit. Here, we don't do surface-level hype. This channel is dedicated to the high achievers, the entrepreneurs, and the future wealthy who are tired of generic advice. Our mission is to dissect the psychology of money, the mechanics of scaling, and the raw truth about what it takes to build a life of absolute autonomy. We provide the strategic blueprints that bridge the gap between where you are and where you deserve to be. If you're ready for financial education without the fluff, you're in the right place. Let's start with a story that changed my entire perspective on wealth. Early in my career, I met a guy named Ethan. Ethan was obsessed with the idea of passive income. He spent 2 years and nearly $30,000 on automated dropshipping stores and turnkey real estate deals he found online. He wanted the shortcut. He wanted to bypass the active work. 2 years later, Ethan was $50,000 in debt. Why? Because he didn't realize that passive income is just active income that has been codified and scaled. There's a narrative in the digital world that suggests active income, trading time for money, is for suckers. They tell you to quit your job and start a passive business. This is catastrophic advice. Active income is your capital engine. It is the primary fuel source for everything else. When you're in your active phase, you aren't just earning a paycheck. You are acquiring the 3 things passive income requires: capital, skill, and network. Ethan failed because he tried to build a passive income stream with 0 active skills. He had no sweat equity to back up his money equity. Most people view active income as a 9-to-5. That is a very narrow, low-level view. In my consulting practice, I view active income in 3 distinct layers. Layer 1, survival income. This is the time for money trade. You work, you get paid. It's necessary, but it's a trap if you stay there too long. Layer 2, high-ticket skill income. This is where you stop being a generalist and become a specialist. Instead of earning $30 an hour, you earn $500 an hour because you solve a specific high-value problem. This is still active, but it's high leverage. Layer 3, scaled active income. This is when you hire people to help you execute your high-ticket skill. You're still active in the sense that you're managing the ship, but you've broken the 1-to-1 ratio of time to money. The breakthrough I had 10 years ago was realizing that my goal wasn't to escape active income. It was to ascend through these layers. You cannot build a massive real estate portfolio, passive, if you are only earning $40,000 a year, active. You don't have enough fuel. To make passive income work, you must first maximize your active earning potential. The get-rich-slow people are right about the compound interest, but they forget that you need a significant amount of money to make the compounding matter. Now, let's talk about passive income. The term itself is a bit of a misnomer. Nothing is 100% passive forever. Even a dividend portfolio requires rebalancing. Even a rental property requires management. Passive income is delayed gratification in physical form. I remember my first passive breakthrough. I had spent 6 months writing a comprehensive business strategy course. While I was writing it, I was working 16-hour days. I wasn't getting paid. I was losing sleep. It was the most active work I'd ever done. But then on a Tuesday morning, while I was getting a coffee, I got a notification, a $2,000 sale. That felt like magic, but was it passive? No, it was 1,000 hours of active work compressed into a digital product and sold via an automated funnel. Passive income is simply active income that you did in the past. If you aren't willing to work harder than anyone else for a period of time with no pay, you will never earn the right to get paid with no work. Most people fail at passive income because they have a low pain tolerance. They want the results without the front-loaded effort. So, which one actually works? The answer isn't one or the other. The answer is the wealth ratio. When you start your journey, your income should be 100% active. You need to be in the trenches. You need to be learning the market. You need to be building your human capital. As you progress, you should aim for the 70-30 shift. 70% active income to fund your life and fuel your growth, and 30% passive income to provide a safety net. The mistake I see millionaires make, and yes, I've seen this in my high-level masterminds, is that they become lazy once they hit a certain level of passive income. They stop innovating. They stop the active pursuit of excellence. And because the world is always changing, their passive streams eventually dry up. Wealth is a living thing. If you're not feeding it with active intelligence, it will eventually die. The people who actually make it work are those who use active income to buy assets and then use the passive income from those assets to take bigger risks in their active pursuits. It's a feedback loop, not a destination. There's a deeper psychological danger to the passive income obsession. It breeds a maintenance mindset. When your primary goal is to not work, your brain starts to atrophy. I've coached individuals who retired at 35 with enough passive income to live comfortably. Within 2 years, most of them were depressed. Why? Because humans are designed for contribution. The advisor in me tells you to build passive income for security, but keep your active income for purpose. I once had a breakthrough with a client who was trying to quit his consulting business to live off his crypto gains. I told him, the moment you stop being active in the market, you lose your edge. You stop being a player and start being a spectator, and spectators eventually lose their seats. Which one works? Active income works for your soul and your growth. Passive income works for your peace of mind. You need both to be truly wealthy. If you're currently trading time for money and you feel stuck, here is the strategic pivot. Don't look for a new passive business. Look for the residual value in what you're already doing. If you're a graphic designer, active, don't just sell logos. Create a library of templates, passive. If you're a plumber, active, don't just fix pipes. Create a training manual for new apprentices, passive. If you're an executive, active, don't just give your time to the company. Use your salary to buy index funds or equity, passive. The mistake is thinking these are two different worlds. They are the same world. You are simply changing the delivery mechanism of your value. One of my greatest breakthroughs was realizing that I didn't need to find a passive income idea. I needed to take the insights I was giving to my $50,000 a year consulting clients and package them into a framework that could be sold to thousands of people for $500. Same value, different delivery. That is how you win. We have to talk about the risks. Active income risk is simple. If you stop, the money stops. It's a high-frequency risk. Passive income risk is complex. It's systemic risk. If the market crashes, if the platform changes its algorithm, if the real estate market takes a dive, your income vanishes and you have no active control to fix it immediately. I've seen people who went all in on passive income and lost everything because they didn't have the skills to go back to the active world. They had forgotten how to sell, how to negotiate, and how to grind. Never lose your ability to earn an active dollar. That is your ultimate insurance policy. I still take on active consulting projects today, not because I need the money, but because I need to stay sharp. I need to know what the current pain points are in the market. That active work informs my passive investments. It keeps me in the game. So, active versus passive. The answer is active to build, passive to stay. Don't let the gurus convince you that active work is a sign of failure. It is the crucible where your wealth is forged. Use your active years to build a mountain of capital and a fortress of skills. Then and only then let the passive income streams flow from that mountain. Building wealth isn't about escaping work, it's about choosing the work that matters. If you're ready to stop chasing the passive ghost and start building a real, layered financial empire, then you're exactly where you need to be. Hit the subscribe button and join the circle of profit architects. I'll see you in the next video.